development manager. She's responsible for all of the European Ryder Cup team development. So I tend to support her when she's making all of the presentations to the Ryder Cup captain and the various other people that are involved in the selection process. So I tend to support staff and take a role in all aspects of the business. If there's some new machinery to go into the factory, I have a look and I'm involved in the assessment process there. So it's very much a sort of general job across the whole aspects of the business.
And how did the company first come about having the responsibility of making the Ryder Cup uniforms for the European team?
I gather that it goes back to probably 1985 or thereabouts, when there was a factory manufacturing knitwear on this site, and the company were asked to provide some sweaters for the Ryder Cup team, unofficially, totally unofficially, but that went quite well. And I think 2 years later, for the 1987, for the event at Muirfield Village, the company were approached officially to be the official supplier for the European Ryder Cup team. And at that stage, it was certainly not the event that it is today. It was a much smaller event. Now it's probably the third most televised sporting event in the world. It's just a massive event, and how we have to be very careful about making sure that nothing is released to the public beforehand. But we've grown into it, and I think certainly in terms of supplying, it's grown from a very, very small thing. And it's not just a matter of supplying 12 shirts for 12 guys on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. It's much bigger than that.
And how much pressure is on you right now?
Well, as far as Ryder Cup clothing is concerned, or generally, as far as Ryder Cup clothing is concerned, at this minute we're reasonably relaxed, being perfectly honest, because normally once the captain has been decided, and the captain plays quite a role in deciding what's happening, he's got to be appointed before we can even start talking. In the cycle of events for a match, the matches are always in late September. By May of the previous year, we're normally having our first meeting in the round of what we're going to be doing. Fabrics, colours, garments, etc. And that's been traditional over the last 10 years. This year, we were fortunate in as much as we started the process in January with Paul McGinley, so we were 5 months ahead of the game. So at the moment, in fact, before May, we'd had 3 meetings already with Paul, so we were well ahead of the game. So at the moment, we're feeling reasonably comfortable. And as far as 2014 is concerned, it's a little bit easier because it's a home match. So when we got the product together, we know what we're doing, we've bought it, we have to go through a whole host of things like sizing for the players, because we don't know who the players are going to be until this time next year. So you're designing clothes for players who you don't know who they're going to be. So that in itself gives quite a few difficulties. But being a home leg, we know that we've got to get it together and we've got to get it to Glenmuir. When it's an away match, we have to get the product and we have to ship it into the USA. And that is a headache in itself, just getting everything together, getting it through US customs and into the resort that's going to host the away match. That's almost as stressful as developing the product in the first place.
And on average, how much would it cost to produce one uniform?
Gosh. That's a good question. I don't really know the answer, but it's got to work out into, if you take it that there are 12 players, it's probably into the tens of thousands.